Betty has been honored many times. In 1995, she was inducted. Oh, I'm sorry. We're live. Hello, creepy crawlies. And how is everybody doing this evening? I hope you are having a great week like I am. And I would like to bring in my hostesses, Kat and Lauren.
Hostesses.
Hostesses.
Hostesses. Hosts. Host?
Are we missing one?
I don't know.
Kitty.
So tonight on the episode of The Missing Host.
I know. Okay, so I don't know if you saw this or not.
I saw the video.
It's a Betty White little golden book. Oh my gosh.
Yes. That is adorable.
And
hey!
Hey, how are you?
I'm good.
Cool.
Is there an echo? Are y'all hearing?
No, you're fine. You're perfectly
okay.
Fine. Yeah. So I was sharing, I have the Betty White little golden book.
Oh.
And of course, when I saw that, the Dolly Parton, I know Lily loves Dolly.
She does. She does. She's signed up for the Imagination Library, so she gets a book a month from Dolly. And in the book on the back, there's a picture of her, and it's sometimes it says from Dolly. On her birthday, she got like an email with Dolly Parton doing the generic like "Happy birthday, my loved one" kind of thing, and it was super cute. But she calls her Princess Dolly. She gets so excited when Princess Dolly sends her a book. So it's kind of like in our family, the Tooth Fairy or, the Easter Bunny. There's also Princess Dolly who magically sends her a book every month.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Cute.
Aw. Kat, what have you been doing? We haven't seen you in a little while.
Yes. I've been buried under our holiday stuff. Sorry, I'm having a wicked echo.
We don't hear it. It's all on your side. We promise.
Hold on 1 second while I try.
Okay.
Technical difficulties.
Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me okay?
Yeah.
It was better the other way, but yes, we can still hear you.
Okay. I'm not getting a huge echo now.
We're getting a chirping though.
Yeah.
Like a high-pitched chirping.
Well, hold on. Go back and plug it in.
So while she's getting set up, I'm going to go ahead and all right, I have to talk about it. We have to talk about Bruno.
We don't talk about Bruno.
Who's Bruno?
7-foot frame, rats along. Have you seen the new Disney movie Encanto? If you have not, I recommend it highly. I am slightly obsessed. I know it's not really goth. It is so good.
It's relevant right now.
It is extremely, if you have any type of emotional trauma from family.
I was about to say, with the amount of emotional trauma in that's pretty goth.
Yeah. I cannot, and John Leguizamo is Bruno, and we all love John Leguizamo for different reasons.
Toulouse-Lautrec.
I know. I'm sorry. What was your favorite Leguizamo movie? Just please.
Tu Wong Fu, Moulin Rouge, or Spawn. Or Mario Brothers.
What about Romeo and Juliet?
I never saw it. Never saw it.
All right, Kat, are you a Disney fan at all?
It depends on what it is. If it's Tim Burton, yes.
I cannot recommend Encanto enough. What are you eating, Lauren?
It's my husband's birthday cake. It's his birthday today. Everyone say happy birthday, Joey the Roadie.
Happy birthday,
Joey the Roadie.
Tu Wong Fu? Okay, yes.
Yeah.
Tu Wong Fu is one of my favorite movies ever. I love that movie so much. Not missing much?
I'm confused.
I don't know.
I don't know what the comment was in reference to.
I highly recommend, if you haven't watched Encanto, to definitely watch it. Incredible soundtrack. I know that everybody was so excited over Frozen and the soundtrack for the original Frozen movie. This one is 10 times better. 10 times better.
Lynn did it. Yeah, it's gonna be good.
The composer of Hamilton actually wrote the music, so it's absolutely phenomenal. So
yeah. The same person who did a lot of what was the one? Da 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 da, see, and it calls me, but no one knows. Someone help me here. Moana.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Sorry.
So I have to ask, how did your gingerbread house do with the Enchanted Forest? Was it a contest? Did y'all get rated, or was it just?
I think there was a contest. We don't ever win anything, but it looks cute.
You do in our book. You do in our book.
Oh, well, thank you. We don't do it for the awards.
Aw, no, you do it for the fun and the family. So we have some very interesting hosts or guests this evening. We always have interesting hosts. But we have some interesting guests this evening. We have the ladies from Dead City Collective joining us. And I would like to go ahead and bring them in.
Yay!
We have Lavinia and Hatter joining us. Hello, how are you doing?
Hello.
Great, thanks. How are you?
Good. We're doing great.
Good. I just wanted to say earlier, but I was like, wait until the show. Your makeup, both of your makeups are so good.
Oh,
I love like the very broad strokes, and you can obviously tell like in any lighting it's going to make an effect, and I was very ecstatic with that. So just wanted to say it live.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. We do our own makeup and everything like that, so I appreciate it.
Nice.
It actually
lots
took
of
us like a few
hellos.
hours.
We have a lot of people saying hello this evening. So,
yeah. Hello, everybody.
Now, everybody might recall that we recently had the gentleman from. Can we say gentleman when referencing those guys? Is that
I would say so.
Okay,
I would say gentleman.
I'm a little biased. Like I have this vendetta out against him. That's my brother, and our past isn't really that great. So.
Oh, okay. That guy.
Gentleman might be a stretch.
So we had the gentleman on our show recently, and they were a lot of fun, and we were very anxious to have you guys join us because, honestly, our show got started by talking about, first of all, the pinup industry, because that's kind of where a lot of us came from, but also ladies in horror. And we are really big about promoting and encouraging and uplifting ladies who have similar interests to our own. So let's just jump right in. Can you guys give us just like a quick overview of who you are and what you guys do?
Go first. All right, so we are the ladies of Dead City Collective. We are a traveling horror entertainment group. We also perform sideshows. So we do all kinds of events. I mean, during haunt season, we call it haunt season. It's like, October, spooky month. We're actually hired around haunts throughout the U.S., actually worldwide. Some of our characters have been over to Ireland, but we do birthday parties, marriages, funerals, so we can marry you, bury you, and everything in between.
Birthday parties, marriages, and funerals. Oh my God. Okay.
How many funerals have y'all done?
I was just thinking the same thing. Can you
all of them?
All of them. Okay, so tell me a little bit about your character and your act.
Okay, so I'm Lavinia. I'm Stitch's sister. I actually do a couple things in the sideshow. One of them, I am laying face down in a pile of glass, and somebody comes and stands on my face while I'm face down in that glass. I also bare feet walk on that glass while somebody is on top of a bed of nails. So I'll lay a board down, put glass on that board, and walk barefoot on the glass while they're on the nails.
It's pretty interesting. The reactions we get from people whenever you tell them you're gonna stand on her face. They're like, no, please. It's
You're-
amusing. So we're
Stand-
entertaining them, but that entertains us.
Stand on her face. Okay, wait a minute. We have to back up and define that a little bit. What do you mean stand on her face?
So, pile of glass on the ground. I lay face down in it, like sideways right here. And somebody comes and steps up on my back, and their foot goes on my head, and they're basically grinding me down into the glass.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
How often do you
Cool.
get cut from it?
It happens. It
But
happens.
is it not supposed to
What
happen?
you do?
I mean, it kind of comes with the territory. You're not going to have a perfect show every time, and we've had a couple injuries, here and there, but we do try to perfect our craft so that we are not getting hurt. We do practice safety as much as we can. We practice during the off season just to make sure we have everything together so accidents don't happen, but you can't really knock them completely out the way because they do happen.
Gotcha.
Okay, so Hatter. So I'm just curious, what is your character in your routine or your act?
I do not have a acting sideshow currently. I'm there to mimic and pick on the rest of the characters because I'm the fun one out of DCC. But I'm Hatter, and Lavinia and Stitches actually found me, and Lavinia decided she wanted to adopt me because she just loves me so much. To keep me, and Stitches regrets it. I think it's a great idea.
Nice ASMR. Oh my God, really? Crunch,
I actually do have one other part in the sideshow that we can maybe save for later, once we kind of broke the ice a little bit, if you guys would like to see that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We would love to see it.
Okay, let's break the ice. What do we need to talk about? Betty White. Oh, and
we've already talked about Betty. Come on now.
Okay, I know the other one. Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. Oh,
Bob Saget today.
America's Dad. We lost America's Dad this evening.
Wow.
Yes.
We lost Bob Saget.
Yeah, that was announced earlier today. So apparently he was found in his hotel room, and that's about all the information they have out right now.
Some more will come out.
I'm curious to find out a little bit more about his situation.
Yeah, well, Bob Saget was always one of those actors who had a lot more going on than the general public really knew. Like if you ever have watched his comedy skits or anything like that, other than Full House, he was very much a raunchy kind of comedian. And then he got cast kind of as the America's Dad.
Oh yes. Oh no. As a matter of fact, I've always heard him regarded as a bit of a perv when it comes to his normal routine.
Yeah, so. I heard that also.
Yeah.
Yeah. There was a documentary that came out a while ago about if you've ever heard the joke, The Aristocrats. It was a documentary just about this one joke, The Aristocrats, which every comedian has kind of told in their own form or fashion along the way. And Bob Saget's version of it was just so, I almost threw up listening to it. It was that gross and raunchy. Yeah. If you don't know the joke, the entire premise is there's a family, they do an act, and what's the act? Okay, well, one of them, I don't know how I can do this without cursing too much. They do a whole bunch of very gross things with bodily fluids with each other, including pooping in this one's mouth, and then they throw it in the air and start juggling this over here while this person's peeing over here, and they try and make it as disgusting as possible. And then the tagline of the joke is, what's the name of their act? Oh, well, they're the Aristocrats. And that was pretty much the entire joke, but every comedian kind of had their version of it.
Highly edited. Highly edited.
That was very highly edited, yes.
Okay, so I have a question. How did you guys actually get into this industry of haunting and sideshows? And I mean, it's a very unique industry.
It is. I started whenever I was a lot younger. I started with makeup, like special effects and stuff like that. It helped me a lot with stuff I was dealing with. And a lot of the looks I created, some of my best ones actually, even to this day, were made using only an Elmer's glue stick, some toilet paper, and some cheap eyeshadow. You know, I would lock myself up in my room and I would create art, and it would help me escape reality. And I loved it so much that when Dead City Collective, you know, noticed me and they enjoyed my makeup and stuff like that, you know, I jumped on the idea. It was great. You know, that's what I always wanted to do, and now I'm able to do that happily and publicly.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. I have a couple of young budding FX artists in my house, and that are friends and family. And yes, it's the toilet paper and paper towels, and we're doing all of that. It is so much fun to watch. I've watched it in the back of my car on the way to events. It's like, hey, does this look zombie enough for us? But I totally understand, and I can truly appreciate that. So, Lavinia, I have a question. How did your character evolve from the original concept?
So actually, Stitches has a sister, and we needed to fill that spot. They came across me, and I happened to fit that spot. So I just played the role instantly, like I was basically fit for it. And she's just evolved ever since then.
Huh. So kind of just cast as like insert random like sister, and then you've made it into your own along the way?
No, he actually had a vision for it.
Oh.
And I was able to pull off that vision.
Oh, that's cool. That involves some acting.
I'm just curious, what was your original vision? Does it look anything like what you're doing now?
Yeah, I have made my own little tweaks on it though, just to make it, because I'm more of a grungy type of character. You know, you got a lot of people out there, you know, everybody that I've seen, you know, they do phenomenal makeup. Some of them are a little too happy. That's not my taste. I prefer to be grunged out, wore in. Exactly. You know, give you representation of what my character's backstory is, not only in acting and storyline, but in my costuming as well.
You know,
she's the mean one.
Yep, she's the mean one.
Yeah, I was pretty at one point, and then my brother had to go and do this, and that just like kind of started everything right there. Is this right here? So.
Hit her with the shovel one day, and then ta-da!
That's nice. I love that you incorporate like backstory into the makeup and all that. That's really, really cool.
Of course, every one of our characters, we have a backstory to match. You know, it's part of it. That's what we do.
So I have a random question. If you had to come up with a brand new kind of character, your own interpretation, your own backstory, your own concept, all of that, have you thought about that? Like, what would you do? What would your backstory be? Where would you go with it?
I think if it were me, like if I were coming up for another character for myself, then I would definitely go darker. I'd go a lot darker. You know, Hatter, me, I'm very upbeat. I'm happy. You know, I can switch back and forth all the time. You know, I'm kind of insane, so that's what I do. So I go back and forth. But for the majority, I'm upbeat. You know, kids come to me at haunts and stuff like that. Whereas Stitches and Lavinia, you know, they're a lot darker. So I think if I went for another character, I would definitely lean more on the darker side, and maybe not the red hair and stuff like that.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I think you need contrast. I think you need, because there are some people who are going to lean towards the darker, creepy characters. That would be me.
Right.
And then you have those people who are going to lean towards the bright, fun. That would be Lauren. and yeah, I mean, you have a little bit of both. So, I mean, I can definitely see where there's a need for both type of characters. And yeah, I would totally be following Lavinia around. I'm not lying.
That's what I do. I just follow her around.
I've seen pictures.
You're my pal. You're my bestie. Leave me alone. You're my friend. Leave me alone.
So I have this leash right here that I'll walk up to her all the time and just be like, and click it on, and she's like, "What are you doing? Why?"
It's really like I have a child.
I love it. I love bothering her. My favorite.
We all have kids, so we can relate.
My favorite is I'll just like walk up to Stitches and I'll just like lick all the way up his arm, and it just bothers him so much, and I love it.
We call it giraffe tongue in our house.
Okay, so I know that a lot of people are very curious. It is no longer considered spooky season. And I know that you guys probably get hired out a lot during the holiday season with like Krampus type events and stuff like that. So what do you do after spooky season and the holiday season? What do you do right now? What are the plans?
So we actually do a lot on the off season. You know, you have your other major holidays like Valentine's Day, where other houses run a show for that weekend. We do cons all over the place. Like I said, the extra stuff that we do as far as birthday parties, weddings, all that stuff, you know, we do those privately.
Even outside of haunt season, we still work and stuff, and on social media as well, you know, doing live feeds and staying in touch, because that's really important nowadays is social media. So outside of haunt season, we still stay busy.
But we don't always turning when it comes to DCC. We don't ever stay stagnant, so we always have something in the works.
As Rotten just said in the comments, it's always spooky season.
We
agree.
Just the Valentine's Day thing makes me exceedingly happy. I couldn't word. Yay, good. Because I don't know. I can imagine like, all right, guys, let's do a singles gathering and having like a singles mingle, and y'all just placed at tables just strategically, so they have to sit down and talk to you and be like, hi. That would be really funny.
Like speed dating.
I was just speed dating.
Speed dating.
Like it could actually be a thing. Like people could come and who are single, but you also could like be strategically, you know, the characters sat around as well, just to make it entertaining. And the people who are all into, you know, the goth kind of culture and who would be into that, well, would more likely be able to be into each other. So that'd be really
I am
cool.
not single, and I would totally be into this speed dating. I'm for this. I'm totally for this.
I've never even seen it done or heard of it done before, other than Hollywood.
Each haunted attraction has their own, you know, set up for their different holidays. So, you know, like some will put kissing booths or something in there, you know, for their Valentine's event. We actually hold, it's going to be our second year now, holding Necromantic Weekend down here in Savannah, Georgia. It's Great Face Museum. So we have an event, do our sideshow out there.
That
and
sounds
like
awesome.
I said, that's 2 years strong now. So
okay, so what is Necromantic Weekend? Because I am automatically thinking of the band, the Necromantics. So I'm just curious.
So Great Face Museum is they have like murderabilia is their main thing. They're like a lot of John Wayne Gacy primarily, but they actually hold all kinds of like oddities and curiosities inside the museum. But because they are primarily dealing with like serial killers and stuff, that's kind of like where the necro come in. And with it being Valentine's Day weekend, well, hey, that's romantic. What's more romantic than going and seeing all this interesting stuff, including a sideshow? So
that's awesome.
We just become really good friends with them, and we actually hold multiple events out there. One for Valentine's Day, sometimes we do St. Patrick's, and the other one is Horror Miss, which is obviously around Christmas time.
Oh my God.
And you said this is in Savannah?
This is in Savannah. We also do Pogo-Palooza for John Wayne Gacy to kind of commemorate him.
What was
the closest thing that I have ever been involved in museum is New Orleans has a Museum of Death, which has a lot of memorabilia for serial killers, and so it's when you're describing it, that's kind of what I was picturing in my head. I don't know if it's anything similar, but I'm totally for this. This sounds wonderful.
It's great. It's a really cool museum. And they have a bunch of other stuff in there as well. They have the bottom story of it is pinball machines, and your ticket lets you go and play all day if you want. So it's pretty fun. You'll see most of the DCC characters like playing pinball and stuff when it's always busy,
I'm
and then
down with
people
that.
walk up and they're like, "Are you playing pinball?"
Yeah, walking up on us, gearing up for a show, playing pinball, and they look over, and we're just like,
Can I?
"Yeah."
Pinball's great.
That sounds fun. I haven't played pinball in forever.
I have. I love it.
Ton of machines.
Kat, when was the last time you played pinball? You just said you played pinball.
About 2 weeks ago.
Where?
Recent.
It's down in Destin. Sorry, I'm having a terrible echo time.
No,
Oh.
you're fine. Kat has a home away from home in Destin, Florida, in which she gets to spend some glorious, glorious weekends on the beach. And she is our resident gymnast. And so you guys would have a lot in common with Kat. I kid you not.
So when it comes to the online stuff and like keeping things not too static in between gigs and all of that, what are some of the things? Do you do like skits? Do you do just like lives together? What do you do to kind of keep it going?
Lives mostly. We actually just did one Stitches and Lavinia did one last night, and I was in and out of there also. And we played games on there, and we had giveaways, and if you won certain games, like we did trivia for DCC for like people that have been following DCC for a while, it was stuff that they would know. And if you guessed it right or whatever, then you got a prize, and we'll send them like merch or a goodie bag. Or the bigger prizes was I paint and Stitches also paint. So it was a painting from us, and then we had an auction and just a fun time. We try to keep it, fun and stuff in there.
You said I paint was one of the main prizes, and I was like, I paint like cosmic paint, like cosmic
paint.
effects. Oh no, you paint.
No, she paints. We hear things strange all the time. Okay, so have we
24-hour live feeds?
Oh yeah,
so
fun.
We'll go for 24 hours switching out characters.
Yep.
And there'll be people that ride it all the way through. So it's just to kind of keep us, active and keep going.
That's
right,
awesome.
Yeah. There's a few people in the chat currently that was on the live feed last night. I just saw Tabitha and Eric in here.
Yeah, I've been reading the comments that someone said I get that one.
Yeah,
whoever that is has awesome hair. Just saying.
The pink one that is Tabitha. She is our loyal soulless.
Loyal soulless.
So
that's nice.
Have we broke the ice enough that we can see some of what you do?
Yeah. So one of the ways that we actually accept tips after our show is involving blood money. It gets the audience involved with us a little bit more, so more hands-on, so that they can actually be part of the show. But the way to give us that tip is you have to staple it to my flesh, hence giving us the blood money.
I love that she's like clicking the stapler already. She's so excited.
Yeah, so we're going to give you a little demonstration of how that goes down. And this pretty much, goes, I do arms, chest, legs. My face is already kind of messed up enough, so we stay away from that, and obviously bones and stuff, but pretty much it's anywhere up for grabs. So like I said, we'll give you a little show of that.
Okay.
I've never stapled you before. I help.
Oh, good. This is like the second night in a row.
Yeah.
It's my lucky weekend.
Hatter loves to help during the sideshow. I just run around and do stuff, but I don't think I really stapled you before.
No.
I'm nervous. Can I lick it first?
Now, I have a question.
Sanitary.
Do you use a remover or?
Yeah, I do. It's right here.
Okay. I didn't know if you used the real remover just to kind of pull it.
Yank it out.
Okay. I'm going to hide behind Betty while y'all do this.
Sounds like work.
Yes.
Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yes.
I don't know if I am.
Oh,
Are we ready?
Are you ready?
It's like bring it on.
Are you ready?
Or you want to hear?
yeah,
Let's see.
that's the
Can
good.
y'all see?
Yes, we can.
Yeah, I can
Ready?
see.
Kind of.
There we go.
Nice.
Yay!
Yay! She just rips
rips them
them
out.
out. I used to do, I mentioned earlier, but I don't think I did live. I used to do something similar with the money and all that. One of the things I always really wanted to do is I wanted to have like a pocket full of Uno reverse cards. I don't know why or what the skit would go with it, but the Uno reverse cards were always, I always want to just be like, reverse.
Oh,
Yeah, that's the best
smart,
thing
though.
because I mean, people come up to me and they're like, "Oh my gosh, does it hurt?" Like,
No.
I mean, I just got stapled with half-inch,
Yeah.
quarter-inch staple, and you wanna. So I turn it right back on them. I'm like, "You want to find out?" No.
Right now. yeah.
Lauren is the person who would probably say, "Yeah, go ahead and staple. We're good."
I like it.
Pain is pleasure.
I should-
Makes it more fun.
Ew, so bloody.
Oh,
You made it
have
look
you ever had
easy.
anybody ask for the money back? I'm just curious.
I don't think
No.
No.
Typically, like they're pretty grossed out at that point, and they
You
don't
can
want to.
keep it.
I don't. You can have the thank you.
I mean, you'll be amazed how many people think I'm faking it, and then they'll see it stapled to me, and they're like, "You were serious?" I'm like, "Do you think I'm just here telling you stories?"
A lot of people think that like the majority of stuff we do in our sideshow is fake, or there's something, there that, makes it look real, but it's not. But everything we do in our sideshow is completely real. There is no gimmicks, there's no tricks, nothing. It's all 100%.
That is awesome. Somebody had just commented, I would rather do staples
Than
than
mouse
mouse
traps.
traps. I
I
have
was-
to agree.
How do you
100
do
mouse
mouse
traps.
traps?
suck.
Mouse
Okay,
walk on
explain
mouse traps.
Yep.
Okay, where they snap.
Yeah.
Our
Yeah.
character Goose does mouse traps, so you can, give a tip and he'll mouse trap it to his tongue or to his finger.
No,
Yeah.
no.
There was
no.
a comedy group around here that would do improv for a very long time, and the end of their show would always be mouse traps, and they would take off their shoes and go walking across the stage while trying to be like doing a skit as to whatever in character across mouse traps, and I think one of them was blindfolded. Very entertaining.
Okay.
That makes it fun.
So speaking of the anti-Valentine's Day type events, I went to an event that was basically, they titled it as a Valentine's Day freak show type thing, and there was like people walking on Legos and stapling things to them. But the one that caught my attention was the dude with a bucket over his junk with the black cats. And I mean, it was like firecrackers going off. I don't understand what exactly. I'm like, okay, am I okay? So I am not the only one wondering how exactly this happens, and where do you realize I can throw firecrackers in a bucket over my junk and be okay?
How do you do that? You just wake
Is
up.
there a school?
No, that's a good idea.
I missed your question.
That'd be fun to watch.
Is there a school for this? Is there training for this? Where do you learn that? I mean, I'm serious. I mean, we've seen somebody put a drill up their nose. How do you
So
learn?
actually, when it comes to sideshow, there is a school up in Coney Island that had
Really?
a
I
giant
believe that.
wait list to get on
A
it.
huge one.
Yeah, it's pretty difficult to get into, but also let's just say, okay, something that you got pretty much anybody can relate with is tattooing, and you have to have an apprenticeship to be able to learn to do that. So it's not like you actually go to the school and learn to do all this. I mean, you can, but it's usually just passed down, from the generations of sideshow.
Or if you just, you have that talent and you're able to catch on really fast, then, that's a really good plus.
Yeah. Okay, so what is your bucket list stunt? What is the one thing that you want to work up to do that maybe you're not quite there yet, but you want to do this in the future?
A stunt, or just like you want to do in general?
Or, yeah, just
So
an act.
mine, I'm not quite
Sword
there yet,
swallowing?
but I'm attempting sword swallowing, and that is actually the most dangerous act in sideshow.
Yes.
So it
everything
takes
that I
years
watch
to
on
actually
can't.
perfect that
Yeah.
and get it down so that, you know, you don't make that one slip up because you're gone.
Freaks
I've
me
heard
out.
you have to practice that every day. You
Mhm.
can't
Mhm.
stop once you start.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because those, I mean, you got 4 gag reflexes on the way down, and you have to keep them suppressed.
Yep.
You let go, and it's done. You're back at square zero.
Yep.
Yeah. Back in the day, I used to could. Have not done it in years. But
Oh,
You
wow.
think it's sword
I don't think I
swallow?
would ever even try.
Really?
yeah, I started
all
out
kinds of good things about
practicing
Uh-huh.
with coat hangers.
Mhm.
They say that's the best thing to start with. Is
Well,
coat hanging.
yeah, because when your gag reflex hits, like it is stiff, but it's still gonna give you a little bit of give. So if you like
Mhm.
bend or if something, you're not gonna
Right.
incredibly hurt yourself. It's a do not try this at home, children. It's a good practice tool for starting out. Just had to throw that out there that don't do the things that we're talking about doing if you're
Yeah, I
watching this.
actually grabbed the rustiest one out the closet the other day and just went for it.
Nice. That is awesome.
Okay, so what is the craziest thing that you've ever seen another performer do?
I don't know.
Another performer, I mean, honestly, when it comes to somebody else, it would have to be my brother. I have not seen fire blown out of a torch sticking out of his face.
Yeah.
Nice.
So
Okay.
that one was cool. But as far as that, I mean, it's like, it kind of comes back down to myself too. Like I'm laying there thinking, like, what am I doing? Why is somebody standing on my head while I'm face down in glass? Like, this doesn't make sense, but you know, that's what I love to do. So keep on keeping on.
That is awesome. Y'all are making me so happy.
I know. Okay, so is there anything that you've ever been asked to do that you're just flatly like, no, I'm not going to learn it. This is not something that I really think that we can do safely? Or is there anything that you have flatly refused to do?
No.
No.
I'm pretty interested in trying. I'll try anything once.
All right.
That's like the rule with food in our house. You have to try a bite.
There's probably one I wouldn't try, and that's the cinder block curb stomp.
What is that?
That did that.
What you do is you bite a cinder block, and you have another one on the back of your head, and somebody comes down with a sledgehammer
Nope.
and breaks that one.
That's
Okay.
a no. That's nightmare fuel.
I like my teeth too much, and like I said, accidents do happen, and I don't want that to be my accident.
Yeah.
So I have a question, and because we have all of the females here, we have the powerful women of. There's a floating hair. Sorry, the powerful women of the horror here. Is there anything that happens that you are do people treat you differently than they would some of the men in the show? Do people feel like they can be more hands-on? Like how is that? Oh, am I jumping your list? Sorry.
No, you're fine. You're perfectly fine.
Especially at haunts. Haunts are huge for it. A lot of people that come into haunts, you know, and when we say haunts, we mean like attractions, whether that be haunted house, you know, corn mazes, whatever, wherever we're at. They come in and they're usually, you know, intoxicated. So men and women are actually worse than men, to believe it. The customers on trying to touch you, on trying to grab you, you know, especially with women actors, because for some reason, I guess they think, you know, we're allowed to do this. You know, they wouldn't go up to a male actor and do that, but they will. They'll grab you or stuff they say to you. You know, we take pictures all the time with customers. We never really refuse a picture ever. But sometimes while taking the picture, they'll like grab you a little too close or say smart remarks while they're taking it. Stuff that they wouldn't really say as much to male actors.
Unfortunately, there's a mindset when it comes to people going to events like that, that once we have on our makeup, we no longer are human for some reason. They see us as our characters and they think, well, I'm going to do whatever I can to push them because I want to see them act.
It's not something that they would walk up and do to us if they saw us out of character, but in character, we're dehumanized. So their brain, it doesn't connect that is a person. So they think it's completely okay. And so they will go up and do that stuff with absolutely no hesitation.
It's interesting that this is the same conversation that we had with some gentlemen that were on our show, that were
our cosplayers.
Yes, we, Lauren and I are very avid cosplayers. I know that Kat has done a lot of other activities, but you do run into that. I do occasionally run into situations where people, almost manhandle you when you're in costume and you're in character, because they no longer see you as the character, as a person. They see you as the character, and they fetishize what your character is. So yeah.
See, I always sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, please do.
I always take a mental note on who those people are whenever I'm in a costume and they feel like they can walk up and like honk Ursula's boobs or whatever. I always make a mental note as to who those people are, and in real life, I will avoid them, because to me, the people who feel like they can get away with doing that because you're a character or you're acting right now are the same people who would feel like they could get away with it if for some reason you were locked in a room and no one would know.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, no. I mean, and we've had that. I've actually had that happen to my oldest daughter when I was with her. And it was, oh yeah. When you don't lay hands on the child. We actually were out at an event, and she and I were cosplaying as Green Hornet and Kato, and some guy tried to grab her ass, and it did not go over well with me.
That deserves a throat punch.
That yes, there are things that I will attack over. It's like, if you go to extreme lengths to terrify a child, I will attack. If you there are certain things that I will go into attack mode over. So
yeah.
There was always something that I was very curious about, because I do know that there was a lot of times where, especially horror characters, we've run into that with our friend who cosplays Jason Voorhees, where he has been quote manhandled by and propositioned by women who want him to do and interact. Some of the stories that he tells are horrifying, so I can imagine what you guys get.
And like I said, honestly, for me anyways, especially at haunts, women are usually worse than the men are. Like,
and they'll do it right in front of their men too.
Grown women will say some of the nastier stuff that I've heard compared to, men, and children too. Well, I say children, but like 13 through like 16, they are nasty, and they'll just say it in front of their parents, and their parents just laugh. So, it's hard to stay in character when you have a 14-year-old, telling you all this stuff. And it's
I can imagine.
Yeah, it's gross.
That is I can relate with that issue. I do a lot of online things, and most of the trolls I get are all around that age, and I have to sit here and be like, okay, is this actually a jerk? Right. Or is this like some child pretending like he's a big boy? And it's really obnoxious.
Usually, our characters and who we are, we're not the nicest, so we're able to say some stuff back. But if it's a kid, you can't say stuff like you could say to an adult. So it's a little harder to deal with. You really just have to walk away, and that's all you can do.
Yeah. Has anyone ever been like kicked? Has it ever gotten to the point where you're like, okay, get this person out of here, like they don't get to be here anymore?
Absolutely.
Oh wow.
We've had
multiple incidents, but I mean, luckily with our characters and the type of people that we are, back to the whole women in the haunt industry, women are victimized a lot, like whether in movies or if they are at an attraction, they usually play victim. When it comes to like, DCC girls, we get to play such a strong role.
Absolutely. DCC,
that's very intimidating. So when you do have people like that in the line, I'm not going to like back down or anything. Lavinia is very intimidating, and she will pop off and you'll be put in your place. So not only are you coming and having fun, but you're learning a lesson also.
Absolutely. Yeah. That's one thing I absolutely love about, our company is Dead City Collective always makes sure that we are 100% safe and they have security for us. And if anything needs to be handled, it will be handled accordingly.
Yeah, I don't know if while you've been talking this whole time, like comments have been popping up at the bottom here, and they're all like, "I've got your back. We've got you." Like everyone is commenting, like if anyone messes with our girls, it's been like kind of a little bit of a heart feel here as you're talking about it. I'm just like, everyone loves you.
You have to love that. You have to love the support.
A tight knit family. I mean, not just like the haunt community. I mean. Yes, the haunt community in general, we're all a tight-knit family, but DCC, we are very close. We know where everybody is at all times when we're at an event. We just don't like things to happen.
Right.
So we know
don't want to take any risks.
We may be scattered out throughout the event, but hey, I know, Stitches is over there, Hatter is over there, and, we just all look out for each other. So.
Right.
I think that's pretty much what we do in any industry that we're in, whether we're in the cosplay industry, whether we're in the haunt industry, or, anything that we're in, we do the same thing. We try to watch out for one another. And, there are times that we all see that one person that's just making you extremely uncomfortable. And it's like, you have to go save somebody from, we've all been in that situation. So
I don't know how many times.
Even when you go out with your friends. Same way, where your girlfriends are in the bar and you're like, okay, she's fine. She can handle that. And you just kind of keep tabs on everybody.
Yeah. I was about to say, like, I don't know how many times I've walked up to some person I don't know and been like, Jennifer, oh my God, I haven't seen you since like high school. Are you okay?
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh yes. Oh no, there have been, and we even have cosplay friends and friends that are out and about. And I'm like, I have told Geek Gumshoe, who is our behind the scenes guy, I'm like, if you are ever out and about and you see one of these young ladies being harassed, please walk up to them and tell, whoever is harassing them, that's my daughter, leave them alone. There's a couple that I'm like, please just walk up and say, that's your kid, leave them alone, and act like they are your daughter and take them away from that situation. So no, we are very, very much about trying to help out our fellow lady in distress, fellow woman in distress, because we know it happens.
The fun thing about that is when people are in such heavy makeup and all of that, you can't really tell ages. So when someone's in a really heavy cosplay or in like makeup, such as our guests here, and someone's harassing them, I'll walk up and be like, excuse me, they're 16.
I know. That's my daughter.
That's my daughter.
That's my daughter. We're the same age. That's my daughter. Leave her alone. I would totally. Yes, we would totally do that. We have done that.
I mean, I've done it like in the hotline before. I've seen people getting picked on or something, and I'll walk up and I'll be right in your face, like, what are you doing?
Yeah, we definitely try to look out also for, not only ourselves and workers, but for customers as well. If we're going through the line and we're messing with people and we see a group of people, picking on a certain person, then we'll definitely go and stand up or say something about it, because nobody likes a bully, especially not.
Nobody likes a bully, but it also like lightens the air because we're very comedic as well. So we'll break the interaction with some type of comedy relief and get the whole crowd going. Right. Because I mean, standing in line after a certain amount of time, everybody's getting antsy.
Right.
So I mean, that's what we do. We're queue line workers, so we're there to provide the scares and the comedic relief if needed.
Absolutely. We're here to keep everybody entertained and everybody safe.
That is so awesome. Hey guys, I love y'all even more. Can we be friends?
I know. I'm like, we will come find you. We promise we will.
Yeah, if you ever come near Memphis.
Yes, yes. We have some great haunts in Memphis, and I know that they occasionally bring in outside acts to help entertain. Kat has actually been part of one of those acts. For you have done gymnastics for, or like you've done stuff for. Is it Haunted Web?
Yeah, one time, sure have.
That's awesome. That is awesome.
Hey guys, I hate to say this, we're at the top of the hours.
No way.
That went so fast. So fast. Okay, so I have one more question that I want to throw out to our ladies here. What is your ultimate hell yeah moment that you've had in this industry?
It was whenever I first got officially with Dead City Collective as Hatter instead of the makeup artist. It was my first ever con, and I was really nervous, but I did a really good job in my opinion. And I was running around crazy. I did not sit down the entire time we were there. I think I drank 3 Monster Energies, and it was right before our show. And since I'm really the only upbeat character in DCC before our show, people are just kind of like standing around waiting and while everybody else is getting ready. So I kind of went out there and was jumping around, and I was flipping my hat, and I was rolling around on the floor, and I was like doing cartwheels, and there was another character there that we knew as well. And so I was playing around with him because his character and my character kind of lined up a little bit. We were about the same pace, and he was the only one that could keep up with me at the time. And so we like fought each other. We were like rolling around on the floor, and almost everybody in the convention was just crowded around. We have videos that got sent to us. Dozens of people was like recording it, and it was so much fun. And I didn't realize how many people were standing there until I like stood up, and I was like, oh wow, okay. And that is still my favorite moment. I had the greatest time, and there's just so many people, and I was glad I was able to keep everybody entertained until the show started. And that helped keep people, because it gets kind of boring just kind of standing there watching everybody set up for a show.
No, we get it.
Oh, what about you, Lavinia?
Lavinia.
Sorry. Say it again one more time.
Everybody gets it wrong. I think I'm just gonna start like adding dashes, like a dictionary or something.
Say it one more time for me.
Lavinia.
Lavinia, thank you. Yay.
So mine actually kind of piggybacks off Hatter. So I was a fan of DCC for a few years before I even got the chance to meet him. And my hell yeah moment was when they asked me to, join. And my first ever like Lavinia coming out scene was at CreepyCon back in 2019.
Oh wow!
And that was a long day. It was like I think 12 hours. I had never been in Lavinia before, so this was like my time for them to see me for what I could do for that long. And I mean, the whole show rocked.
Eric put the pronunciation down in the comment.
Yeah, the phonetic spelling of
yeah.
There you go.
Lavinia.
See, now I want a song like Lavinia. Okay, sorry.
Yes, I'm snorting.
Oh my
God, you guys are a hoot.
I know, right?
Go ahead.
Where can we find you if we want to find you, if we want to follow you or your characters? What are your online things?
I am on Facebook. I have a Facebook page. It's just Hatter DCC, and my Instagram is also Hatter_DCC. That's what I use for everything, and I think yours is the same, isn't it?
Yeah, we typically try to keep ours. Everybody's pretty close.
Right.
So that you can find us. So it's usually character name _DCC. You can find Dead City Collective page on Facebook. We also have multiple characters on TikTok as well. They don't really like us over there, so you don't see us much on there, but
TikTok does not like either. They take our videos down because
we're too dangerous.
Yeah.
TikTok's always picking on my people, my friends.
But yeah, so we have our main Dead City Collective page on Facebook, and then we each have our own character pages on that as well. So you just look us up by our names, and it should pop up.
Right.
Awesome.
Same thing with Instagram and everything like that. So
I think I have found everybody or not everybody. I have found a lot of you guys on Instagram, and I'm
that's
stalking.
the majority of everyone's personal page is Instagram and then Facebook as well.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, I just pulled up Lavinia's here and your photos. I'm just gonna pop these up here.
Oh no, they're incredible.
These are
Look at
epic.
you.
So
Wait,
good.
scroll. I'm like trying to scroll. I'm trying to scroll the screen. There's one that's like got kind of a green tint to it that I absolutely love.
Is it this one?
Yes. Oh my
Yeah.
god, I love that picture so much. And there's a similar one for Hatter that
I'm on my way.
okay.
All right. Is it
It's
green as
fun
well?
actually scrolling through those because you could see, the
The
transition
evolution. Yeah, there we go. I didn't
throughout
even know
our
you had one
entire
that
career.
matched.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so
That
good.
was the first ever time that I ever transformed into Hatter. That was the experimental look.
Love.
That was the first one. That was the first time you've ever. Okay, that's kind of cool. That's all right. DCVC, my favorite people. Yeah,
I
we
like
had
the
some great
green.
comments, but we did not get to see all of our comments. So if
I
we
like
want
to
to run through a
talk.
few,
Yeah.
yeah. Hey, Geek
Drum
Gumshoe, if we
roll,
want to run through a few.
please.
All right, he's asleep. Okay,
Oh,
so just a quick. I want to say.
Oh, there we
okay,
go. I'll take the drill before the staples.
The drill still makes my nose hurt.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I've seen it so many times and I still can't.
Oh, ow. Oh, my sinuses hurt just thinking about that.
I love this. Is my
I can
favorite
breathe.
thing to do. I'll go around and be like, look, I'm Stitches.
I would
I
imagine
meant-
sword swallowing would be tough to. Eli, go home. Go home. You don't. I love the way Hatter smiles. Hope one day she bites the shit out of me. That would be the best. Okay. So these are the creepy people. Are they? Is this some? Okay. Not gonna lie, seeing Stitches run a power drill in his nose, that gets me every time. That kind of got us. Yeah, that kind of
It
got us.
gets me too. I keep thinking like, is today the day that like my dream comes true of knocking Stitches out, but he gets to do it by his own hands? And it's just like, well, I guess it's not today.
Does anyone ever do the taste bud corset in your show? Just wondering.
The what?
No.
Taste bud corset?
What is that?
What is
don't know.
that?
Well, your taste buds on your tongue, like if you do it correctly, they actually don't really have any feeling. So you can take like a needle and thread and corset the top of your tongue.
Okay, I need to learn this.
We try to keep the
I'm gonna
show,
learn this.
down to a minimum with getting the full effect. So we actually have a lot of acts in the show, but we want to keep you entertained without having to keep you there forever, especially if it's at like a con or something. Like everybody wants to go and browse, and like I said, we do mainly haunted attractions, so everybody wants to get into the lines and not stand there forever. So we just try to keep it at a short amount of time as possible.
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah, the corseting takes a minute. It just really grosses people out. Yeah, I'll stop there.
It grosses me out.
And like walk around.
Do the drill act with someone playing the accordion. Okay, go home, Emily. Okay,
it's not weird at all.
Oh,
What was that in context to?
as you do.
Lordy, don't give Hatter ideas. I don't know why I heard it in that voice.
I'm running out of things to do.
Please give Hatter ideas.
My favorite thing to do is to eat rocks or bugs off the ground. Like, I love just going up with a handful of rocks and then like throw them in my mouth and chew them up. I picked up a bug one time. We were on a live feed, and I picked it up and I chewed it up and I turned and like looked at Stitches and I just spit it on him, and it was the most hilarious thing ever. He hated it.
Halfway through the night, like I said, she's pretty much like my child that I have to watch out for. She comes running up to me, Lavinia, my stomach hurts. I think I swallowed a rock.
It's like, you should stop eating bugs.
Don't
Don't eat bugs and your stomach won't hurt.
The bugs will be okay. The rocks I would worry about.
Yeah.
That is like, I
Those
run
have to
around
come through.
at haunts. I run around barefoot. I have my feet wrapped up, but I'm barefoot regardless of what the terrain is. And I'll just like walk up and put my feet in people's face, and it just grosses them out.
I love it. Okay, so we are officially at the top of the hour, and I know, I love this chat so much. I do have to say thank you, first of all, to Lavinia and Hatter and DCC for you guys being here. You are a blast. You're so much fun, and
thank you guys for having me.
Oh no, we would love to have you again sometime. We're already trying to cook up how we can have you guys back.
Absolutely.
I want to say thank you to Back of the Cereal Box and Johnny for allowing us to come out here and do this every 2 weeks, even though he has no idea what the heck we're going to be talking about or who we're bringing on. And we're just like, hey, guess what we're doing? There's going to be a drill and some staples, and you guys are just going to smile and go along for the ride. And of course, our Cabana Boy and from Toy Robot, and he's backstage handling all of our stuff. We do have okay, so I have to point this out. We do have a sponsor this evening. We have Spoiled Lips, and if you want to run the ticker for us,
there's a ticker.
I got a ticker. I have an image and a ticker. Okay, so yes, if you want to order some products from Spoiled Lips Cosmetics, you can get 10% off with the Ice Cream Queens coupon code. And this is actually my go-to lip product that I absolutely love. And so yeah, stays on forever, never goes away. Gotta love this crap. So anyway, just kind of want to throw that out there. And I think that's pretty much everything. So our next show coming up is on the 23rd. And hey, Lauren, do you remember what we're talking about?
No, I have a toddler who just face planted on the ground over here. So sorry.
Okay, we're talking about something we don't know what. I'm sure it'll be entertaining because it always is. But anyway, love you guys. Thank you for joining us, and pleasant screams. We'll see you.
Thank you guys.
Bye. Thank you for having me.